Hello everyone, this video will be covering support and resistance. This will be part of a playlist where I cover technical analysis, different types of studies to use, different types of strategies to use. But this video specifically will be covering support and resistance. So let's get started. So the first and the most important thing that I like to tell everyone when plotting support and resistance is to go to the largest time frame that you could possibly go to, and that's typically the monthly. You can go further, but I think that condensing candles to 1 year, that might be a bit too much. But this software that I'm using is Thinkorswim. This is TD Ameritrade's platform, which is really useful. I've been using it for the last 2 years, and it has been my favorite. So the very first thing we want to do, let's look at a chart. Let's do Apple. It's a very popular stock, breaking out nicely. So first thing I like to always look at in technical analysis is I want to see the top and I want to see the bottom, because that's essentially what support and resistance is. Support, you have price having, I guess you could say, buyers or demand at a certain price that triggers a buy cycle, and then you sometimes have sellers at a high point that triggers a sell cycle. So for Apple, for example, if we're plotting the technical analysis, support and resistance, just the most basic form of technical analysis, you want to look for top, you want to look for bottom. That's all you want to look for. That is all you want to look for when you're doing support and resistance. So for example, if we go back to October of 2018 October, you'd see here for August, September, and October, the price of Apple failed to go higher than this one, which is 57. So if we're looking at the chart, what you want to look at and see is where was the price stalling, where was the price rejected, and by rejected you would mean something like this, exactly what's happening here. You can see that we had a strong upward momentum this entire month. This is August. Next month, September, staying in the same range but failing to go higher, and matter of fact even closed lower than the high. And then you got October following up or leading to a sell cycle now, because you had failed to really break out from here. So what's left is for it to go back down to support, find the strength to go and climb back up again, and then retest and challenge this 57 level. So essentially what I would do is I would take a drawing, right here, drawing tool, you got a price level, tap on that, and then I just hover right over just the areas where I see resistance. So go ahead and just place that there. Now we could also place a support here, because we could see the price fell, went further. We could even place a support here as well if you'd like. Sometimes it's a little tricky in the future because you may never see that again, but for the most part I like to place my price levels at the close, and the close means exactly where this bottom of this green box is. That's the close, or actually this is the open and this is the close. So one key tip for looking at candles, understanding candles, is on green candles the open is on the bottom, meaning the opening price. On red candles the opening is at the top. On green candles the close is at the top, and on red candles the close is at the bottom, because red candles signify that the price actually went down, so that's where the closing price is. That is a big key tip. A lot of people don't even think about when they're looking at candles, and then once you put that together you'll start seeing things a bit more clearly. So again, we plotted that resistance, we plotted the support. We can keep going and keep doing that on the chart, but that's a very basic form of it. Now if we now go from the monthly, which is at the moment I have the 10-year 1 month, and then these are the other time frames I like to use, but at the moment we can go step down to the 5-year and week. So each candle now represents 1 week rather than 1 month. So if we zoom in on that area where we plotted the resistance and the support, we can start seeing this monthly plot really allowed for you to see a lot of information. That's the main thing about support and resistance on larger time frames. The reason you want to use larger time frames is because you want to be able to analyze a lot more data. When you're taking a sample, or we could do the vaccine, for example. Would you trust a vaccine that was tested on 10 people, or would you trust a vaccine that was tested on hundreds and thousands of people, right? So, and the way that connects is, again, you want data to analyze, or you want to analyze data that gives you enough data that you can actually work with and actually make a decision for, and that's what this is. So on the monthly, you're condensing however many days of trading that is. You take Monday through Friday, get rid of Saturday. What is that? 5 times 4. That's 20 days of trading. Each day is maybe less than 20, but you're taking 20 days, consolidating it into one entire month. So it's very important to chart larger time frames, support and resistance points. So we go back to the weekly, we analyze this, we can start seeing, okay, yeah, there was a trend, there was a pattern. This is exactly what was happening. Now we go down to the daily, which means each candle now represents one entire day. I can't go back as far as 2017 at the moment because this is only 1 year, but I'll go back really quickly. We're going to redo support and resistance closer to current date. So this is monthly. I'm going to plot Apple support resistance. So immediately I see support here. I see resistance here. So now I also see a support level around here. Now I go back to the weekly because I want to confirm these levels. It's always good to go back and forth monthly and weekly because you'll want to adjust it according to how the chart is looking. So at the moment this still looks okay to me. I would now switch to the daily, and then I would start seeing, okay, where are the patterns, right? So the patterns is, we know this is a resistance point because we plotted it. We know this is a support point. Where are we in coordination, right? Look at us here. Apple is all the way up here near its almost all-time high. This area right here can definitely prove to be a resistance, but at the moment, the way it's going, this was a very bullish run. I will say that at the moment, Apple is leading. Actually, it's already in the oversold territory at the moment. So it's a very risky trade to take at the moment for going long. I could probably see the stock kissing 147, maybe 148, and then probably coming back and getting rejected. If it gets rejected, we can look at now the prior resistance, which was 133 at the time, and then this prior resistance. But what we would see is that we'll see possible retracements to the 133 area, just because, again, Apple has rallied since June 3rd, and you're talking 123 to 145. That's a very wild run. So we can move on from Apple, though. We can start looking at different stocks. Like you could do support and resistance on typically any stock. My main keys or do's and don'ts are: you always want to plot large time frame. Definitely do. You do not want to plot on the 1 minute. You do not want to plot on the 5, 15. I'll give you the 4-hour chart. I can definitely see someone plotting support and resistance on the 4-hour chart, just because you are getting a decent amount of data. However, even with the 4-hour chart, I would be careful entering trades based off of this analysis, because you will be basing off a support and resistance that is based off a short-term trend or possible short-term trend. You want to be able to take data that provides you with enough evidence that this is a floor of the stock and it's not going lower, and this is a roof or a ceiling and it's not going higher. That's what you always want out of support and resistance. That about sums up support and resistance points. This is going to be the first video posted. If you have any video recommendations or ideas that you'd like, or if you have any studies you'd like a tutorial on, I'd be glad to do it. So just leave a comment, like the video, subscribe. Thank you.